In today's video, I will be showing my complete 1 to 400 scale model airplane collection. And whilst I set up all of my aircraft models, let's talk about some statistics. In total, my collection features 104 models, most of them regular passenger planes, though I have quite a few cargo and military aircraft. In total, I own 72 unique airlines/operators. 58% of the models in my collection are Boeing and 32% are Airbus. The most frequent airline on my airport is KLM, of which I own 11 models including a cargo model. The most frequent aircraft type is the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, of which I have 12 in my collection. The total price of my model airplane collection is about 3,000 euros, with the most expensive model being the KLM Orange Pride, which I bought for 62 euros. The cheapest model in my collection is this Ryanair Boeing 737, and that is because of this broken winglet when I bought it. And lastly, talking about model airplane brands, GeminiJets, Phoenix models and JC Wings are the most frequent in my collection, though I also have some NG models and Aviation 400 models. That's enough talking, let's take a look at my model airplane collection. Starting off, we go to the narrow body section, where we have this Air France Airbus A220. Next to that, two Embraers, one Flybe E190 in the Welcome to Yorkshire livery. And next to that is another E190 of KLM Cityhopper. Two more KLMs then, first this Boeing 737-700, and behind that is the new Airbus A321neo. Moving on to the sister airline of KLM then, Transavia, we have this Boeing 737-800 in the Peter Pan Vakantie Club livery. Behind that are two more Boeing 737s in the normal Transavia livery. The first one is by NG Models and has the split winglets. The other one is a standard Boeing 737 with the normal winglets. And the last Transavia in my collection is this Airbus A321neo. Then we have another Airbus A321neo in the EasyJet colors. A Ryanair Boeing 737-800 with behind that another Boeing 737-800 in the Jet 2 livery. Then a TUI Sunwing Boeing 737-800 and a few Airbus A321s then, starting with this British Airways one. Behind that a Lufthansa Airbus A321 in the Venhanza livery and a Swiss Airbus A321. Next we have this Vueling Airbus A321, this one does have the yellow winglets. On the right of that is a Turkish Airlines Boeing 737-900. And behind that we have an Aer Lingus Airbus A320. And this Danish Air Transport MD-82 in the colorful FIFA World Cup 2014 colors. Then we have this Iceland Air Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the new Iceland Air colors, of course. And this SAS Airbus A320. And that rounds it up for all my European narrow-body aircraft. We now go to the narrow-body collection of American Airlines, which I'm currently trying to expand. Starting with this Delta Connection, really tiny CRJ. Next to that we have this Allegiant MD-82. Next a Frontier Airbus A319. And then this United Boeing 737-800. Unfortunately from this one, the split Scriminar winglet broke off. Then we have this American Airlines Boeing 737 MAX. And another Boeing 737 in the colorful Texas colors of this Southwest. And finally we have this Airbus A320 in the black Air Canada livery. And in the back we have this iconic Iceland Air Boeing 757 in the Northern Lights livery, which I think they are retiring really soon, though it's a lovely colored model aircraft. Really happy that it's in my collection. And that rounds off all of the narrow body aircraft. We'll now take a look behind those and we have a bunch of wide body aircraft. Starting with the KLMs, we have two Boeing 747-400s. Of course retired, but this one was the most recent livery. And behind that we have an older livery of the 747. Two beautiful queens of the sky. Then we have this Boeing 777-300 and another Boeing 777-300, though this one is in the colorful Dutch Orange Pride livery. Moving on, we have this Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner in the celebratory 100 years livery. Then we have another Dreamliner. This one has a tiny 100 years logo. And the final KLM aircraft in my collection is this Airbus A330. Next we have a TUI Dreamliner and another Dreamliner in the Norwegian colors. Behind that is one more Dreamliner in the LOT Polish colors, and then this WOW Air Airbus A330. Another Airbus A330 in the Air Berlin One World livery. And that rounds it up for all of the wide bodies in my collection for EU-based airlines. Next we have this Egypt Air Boeing 777-300 and this Air Mauritius Airbus A330neo. And this really exotic and colorful Air Tahiti Nui Dreamliner with some awesome detail on its livery. Next we go to my Middle Eastern models. I have a bunch of Etihad models and also a few Qatar and Emirates ones. Starting with the 787 Dreamliner in the normal livery, then a 787 in the Visit the USA livery, with some iconic US landmarks printed on the side. Then this Etihad Dreamliner in the Manchester City colors. And behind that we have an Etihad Dreamliner in the Greenliner livery. All the way in the back we have two more Etihad models. Firstly the A380 of course. And on the right of that, behind all of the light poles, is this Airbus A340 in the Formula 1 colors. We move to Qatar where we have this Airbus A350 and also a Boeing 777 in the standard Qatar livery. Behind that another Boeing 777-300 in the Emirates colors. And when we move to the back, we see this Emirates Airbus A380 in a Rugby World Cup livery. All in all, I have quite a collection of Middle Eastern carriers. Then we go back to the other side of the airport where we have the wide-body aircraft from the USA and Asia. Starting with two Delta Airlines models. Firstly this Airbus A350 and next to that is a Boeing 777-200. Another 777 though, a 300 this time, in the American Airlines colors. And here is a United Dreamliner. Then we have multiple Air Canada wide bodies. A Boeing 777-300 in the Vancouver 2010 Olympics livery and a 777-200 in the normal livery. And behind that we have a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, which rounds it up for all of my North American wide-body aircraft. Next we take a look at all of my Asian wide-bodies, which are a lot. Starting with this Cathay Pacific Airbus A350, an Air China Boeing 777 in the Smiling China livery, a Xiamen Air Boeing 787 Dreamliner, and this model has got its flaps down. Next to that we have another Dreamliner, this time in the Vietnam Airlines livery. And here is another Dreamliner with again its flaps down in the Eva Air colors. And all the way in the corner is this Envelope Airbus A350. I think this was a French charter airline, but it's got a Spanish registration and currently it doesn't have this livery anymore, I think. Moving to Korea then, we have two Korean Air Airbus A330s. One in the standard Korean Air livery and the other one in the Pyeongchang 2018 Olympics colors, with these cute bears on the rear. And I also have this Boeing 777-200 in the Korean Air SkyTeam livery. My only Japanese model is this ANA Boeing 777. And then we go to Malaysia where we have this Airbus A330 in the One World livery of Malaysia Airlines. Next to that is a Thai Airways Airbus A350 in the colorful purple with golden livery. Next is this China Southern Boeing 787 Dreamliner. And here we have a Uniao Air Boeing 787 with these colorful flowers on the back. Moving on, a Singapore Airlines Boeing 787-10, which rounds it up for all of my Asian wide-body models. I don't have any narrow-body Asian models in my collection yet. And then we move on to the rest of my wide-body models. Starting off with this Avianca Airbus A330. And next to that is an Air New Zealand Boeing 777-300 in the All Blacks livery. Here we have a South African Airways Airbus A350-900. And finally, the most colorful and recent addition to my model airplane collection is this Aeromexico Boeing 787 in the Quetzalcoatl livery. A really colorful and nice looking model in my opinion. And with that we have talked about all of the passenger airplanes in my model airplane collection. Comment down below which one of these is your favorite. Next we move on to the cargo section, where in the terminal we have a big party going on, which is fixed easily like this, and we'll take a look at all of the cargo models in my collection. Beginning in the corner here with this Western Global MD-11 freighter. Behind that is this DHL Kalita Air Boeing 767. And behind that is this DHL Airbus A330, completely in the yellow and red DHL colors. Then we have this UPS Boeing 767 freighter. And behind that we have 4 Boeing 777 freighters, one in the FedEx Express colors, the other one in the dark blue LAN cargo colors, also one in the Thai cargo colors, and finally one in the golden Etihad cargo colors. That leaves us with a bunch of 747 cargos. Starting with this Cargo Luxe 747-8 freighter. This one is an interactive model, meaning it can open its cargo doors. Behind that a classic Boeing 747 in the UPS colors. And then this Airbridge cargo in the 747-8 modern variant. Another modern 747 in the Qatar cargo colors. And then we have this classic KLM cargo Boeing 747-400 freighter. And then this Boeing 747 Dreamlifter. An extraordinary shaped model, but JC Wings did an excellent job at recreating this one. And for the final cargo model we move away from the cargo section, as in the back we have this Antonov AN225. The huge Ukrainian model, which unfortunately has been destroyed, but its legacy lives on my model airport with this lovely model. And with that we round off the cargo models as well. And the only thing left to do is discuss the military models all the way in the corner of my airport. I am no military expert, but I like some military aircraft on my airport. Starting off with this Royal Dutch Air Force Airbus A330 MRTT. Then this Royal Australian Air Force C-17 Globemaster. And I really like this next model, this French Air Force Airbus A400M. I really like the shape of the propellers. And here we have the last 3 models. This US Air Force B-1B Lancer, this US Coast Guard C-130, and finally this Boeing KC-135 of the US Air Force. Like I said, I am no expert in the military aviation world, but this is my military collection. And with that I have discussed my whole model airplane collection with you. Comment down below which aircraft model of this 100 plus model airplane collection is your favorite. Also let me know which models I should still add to my collection, as there are so many more missing. On the screen here are some models which are still on my wish list, like a Qantas model, more American narrow-body aircraft, and also an Etihad Airways Airbus A350. Then I would like to thank you for watching to this yearly video. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider to like and subscribe, and then I will see you in the next video.